Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have Extreme Rules 2016 prediction video. Now, before we get into the predictions and the card or whatever, let's take a look at the card, because there's something I really noticed about this pay-per-view, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen here for you guys to see. About 90% of this pay-per-view is the same pay-per-view from last month. 90% of it. You got Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin on the pre-show again. You got Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. Last month it was no DQ. This month it's a Extreme Rules match. Pretty much same thing. Well, you got a new match, but New Day versus the Vaudevillains. Okay, that's new. You got Charlotte versus Natalya again, but Ric Flair is banned from ringside. You got Kalisto versus Rusev. That's a new match. And then you have The Miz versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Sami Zayn. And all of them faced off against each other at last pay-per-view, which Payback. And we have one new match. The Usos versus The Club. I mean, they were pretty much involved in the Reigns match last pay-per-view. They're just in their own separate match this time. So we're pretty much just seeing the same pay-per-view. The only difference is the New Day are in the match with the Vaudevillains instead of Enzo and Cass. Kalisto is facing Rusev instead of Ryback. And it's a fatal 4-way match for the IC title instead of two separate matches as they were last month. I mean, pretty much the same pay-per-view, man. Like, you see the comparison right there. Of course, there's, stipulations this time because it's Extreme Rules, the pay-per-view, but it's pretty much the same damn card. I don't know how many people noticed that, but whatever. Anyway, let's get into the predictions. So, we're going to talk about the pre-show match first. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. The same damn match we've seen last month. I mean, 2 weeks... No. Yeah, was it last month? Probably last month. Last pay-per-view. This time, no disqualification match. I fully expect Baron Corbin to win. If he doesn't, then why the fuck did you bring him up to the main roster? That's all I gotta say about that match. Next match, let's see. Kalisto versus Rusev. What I think they're gonna do here is have Rusev go over, take the title off Kalisto, and then when John Cena comes back, he's gonna take the title off Rusev. Because, I mean, if they have him just take the title off Kalisto, it's going to look like that one episode of Raw where Rey Mysterio won the WWE Championship after CM Punk had left. They had that tournament, and then John Cena challenged Rey Mysterio and beat him that same night. I fully expect Rusev to win that match. Not really much build to it. Rusev been attacking Sin Cara and Kalisto and whatever, who cares? Rusev's going to win. Let's see. Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho in the Asylum match. This match could get crazy. I mean, I know we're not going to see blood this pay-per-view. If we do, it's going to be accidental. This match, I think Dean Ambrose is going to win. Because what would be the point of having Jericho go over here? Unless they're going to do a third match, which there's no point of that. But yeah, I fully expect Dean Ambrose to win this. Asylum match. It's going to be like weapons at the top of a steel cage. So it's pretty much, yeah, it's just a steel cage with weapons. Because, of course you can't get out the ring to get the weapons. If you get out the ring, it's the match is over. So yeah, I expect them to kill each other with all the weapons. I expect Dean Ambrose to use Mitch. Because I saw on Raw when they had the Asylum, as they're calling it, come down. I saw he had a potted plant as one of the weapons, so he's probably going to get revenge and use the plant against Jericho. I'm fully expecting to see that. I think it's going to be a good match. I think Dean Ambrose is going to come out on top. And yeah, nothing much to talk about here. Pretty much the build-up for it was... Chris Jericho destroyed Mitch, the potted plant, which is still more over than half of the damn roster. Dean Ambrose came back and retaliated by destroying Jericho's $1,500 light-up jacket. So he doesn't have that anymore. I don't know if he's going to come out with a new one tomorrow. But, yeah. So that's why they're fighting. Pretty much that's why they're fighting. The Usos versus the Club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Tornado tag team match. Haven't seen one of these in a while, actually. As funny as that sounds, it's rare that we get a tornado tag team match. Who I think is gonna win this? I don't know. I think they're gonna have Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows go over here because the Usos have been getting the upper hand on them the past couple of weeks, and we'll talk about the main event. But based off of the main event, I think they're gonna have Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows win, and try to give AJ Styles motivation in his match because they handled the Usos, so now he gets to handle Roman Reigns. And we'll pretty much talk about that in a little bit. So I expect the Club to go over here in this match. The next match is the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, if we scroll back to Payback last couple weeks ago, Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn in his match, and then The Miz was facing Cesaro. Cesaro had The Miz beat, and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens started brawling. They got inside the ring, distracted the ref. The ref didn't see that The Miz was tapping out to Cesaro's submission, and The Miz pretty much rolled him up and got the victory. And then chaos ensued. They all started fighting each other, and now they're in this match. Because Cesaro felt he got screwed, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn felt like they should be in it. Sami Zayn actually won a match to get inserted into this match to make it a Fatal 4-Way. And, as for who I think's going to win, I expect either The Miz to retain here or Kevin Owens to win. I can't see Cesaro and Sami Zayn. I can't see either of them winning the match. As much as I would like them to, I think they're going to put the title back on Kevin Owens. He was a great Intercontinental Champion. He's a great heel. He's probably the top heel in the company at the moment. Yeah, I can't think of any. I mean, The Miz is a good heel, to be honest with you, but top heel, Kevin Owens. So either one of them to win the match. But if I had to pick one, it would be Owens. Definitely Kevin Owens here. I believe he's going to take his title back and, once again be Intercontinental Champion. Next match, what do I want to talk about? Charlotte versus Natalya in a submission match for the WWE Women's Championship. Ric Flair is banned from ringside for this match, and if he interferes, Charlotte is automatically stripped of her Women's Championship. The build for this, last month, pretty much, they did the screw job with Lil Nate, and they had him ring the bell before the match was over, or before Natalya could even submit. She didn't tap out or anything. She didn't give up. And Lil Nate, Charles Robinson is the ref, but I call him Lil Nate. He rang the bell, pretty much screwed over Natalya and Bret Hart. They kind of did the Chicago screw job kind of thing. And, after that, of course, Natalya's going to get a rematch because she felt like she got screwed. And Shane and Stephanie thought it would be great if Ric Flair was banned from ringside so Charlotte can stand on her own 2 feet and win a match without having her father there. And if he interferes, she is stripped of her title. I think Charlotte's going to win here. And I believe that's the exact reason they banned Ric Flair from ringside. Because, most of Charlotte's wins have been because Ric Flair was there. So now you take away the element of Ric Flair, Charlotte's going to have to do it on her own, which I fully expect her to be able to do. I believe they're going to separate her and Ric Flair for, coming up in a couple weeks. She said on Jericho's podcast that she doesn't really like having her father with her at ringside because, she feels like he's stealing her thunder. 2-time Hall of Famer, 16-time world champion. He's kind of going to get in the way of her developing and her, being on her own. Her being her own person. She's just going to be known as, Ric Flair's daughter, which has been part of the heel gimmick, but now she's going to be able to show that she can beat people, she can beat these women without her father. And I expect her to win with the figure 8 because that's a devastating submission move. I believe Natalya's going to tap out to that, and Charlotte's going to prove that she don't need her father, and that's going to be more initiative for her to drop him. Like, hey, I can do this on my own. I don't need you anymore, Dad. See ya. And I think that's what's going to happen. Next match is for the Tag Team Championships. It's the Vaudevillains versus the champions, The New Day. Probably going to be Big E and Kofi in this match with Xavier on the outside. That's normally what they do, and that's normally what works. I think this is just a standard tag team match. No stipulations for this. I expect the New Day to retain. I like the Vaudevillains, I really do, but I don't think they're going to be the ones to take the titles off of the New Day. I do expect it to be a good match, though. New Day is awesome. The Vaudevillains are great heels. They're better as heels than they are as faces. They're more aggressive, and the New Day is just awesome. And I expect the New Day to win this match and keep their titles. I don't think they're going to drop their titles till SummerSlam. And to what tag team that may be, I don't know. Probably Enzo and Cass, if I had to take an early guess. But other than that, I don't see any of these tag teams taking the titles up off of them unless they bring one up from NXT, which they just did in the Vaudevillains, and I don't see them beating them either. So we'll see what happens, but I don't expect the New Day to lose. If they lose, I'm going to be surprised. I will be surprised. Now let's talk about the main event. Roman Reigns, the champion, versus AJ Styles in an Extreme Rules match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I expect sort of a repeat of last month. Their match was great at Payback. I really enjoyed that match. The ending was kind of meh, but the match itself was pretty good. They had a count-out spot where Shane came out, restarted the match as no count-outs, and then AJ jumped off the top rope. Reigns kind of hit him in the groin area. The ref disqualified Reigns. Man, I can't talk today. And Stephanie came out and made it a no disqualification match. And then, the Usos in the club got involved, and Reigns eventually won that match. So now it's Extreme Rules. So I fully expect, because we saw on the Go Home show of Raw that AJ Styles isn't holding back anymore. He's not going to be the nice guy that isn't going to have to use the weapons to beat Reigns, and he's not going to stoop to his level. No. AJ Styles, he will grab a chair. He will kill your mama if he has to. He's going to do whatever it takes to beat Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns is already an aggressive person, so whatever weapon he gets in his hand is going to hurt 10 times worse than the normal man hitting you with it. So, I expect a great match, but I do expect Reigns to retain here. Now, after the match gets a little shaky, because I don't know if the club and the Usos are going to come out and, they brawl afterwards, but I fully expect Roman Reigns to stand tall, and I'm going to predict this. It's 9 times out of 10 not going to happen, but I expect Seth Rollins to come out, get a nice ovation, and, either go face to face with Reigns or stand on the stage and stare him down, and maybe they'll start their feud. I don't know what they're gonna do, because if Reigns beats AJ twice, there's no point in having him face for a third time unless AJ gets screwed. But it's an Extreme Rules match, so anything goes. So unless there's just like a faulty pin or kind of what they did with Charlotte and Natalya, I don't expect AJ to win this or get screwed out of the match. No, it's Extreme Rules, so he's going to lose clean according to what the rules are. And I'm going to guess Reigns' next rivalry will be with Seth Rollins, because he's supposed to come back soon. And there's not really anybody else on the roster other than maybe John Cena, who he can feud with right now. So that's what I'm predicting. We'll see what happens. I'm excited, even though it's pretty much the same damn pay-per-view, but we're just going to ignore that fact and try to enjoy the pay-per-view, because I thought Payback was a great pay-per-view, so hopefully Extreme Rules will duplicate that. And we'll see. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section what you guys think the results for the pay-per-view are going to be. Leave your predictions down in the comment section. I'll be back, of course, with my Extreme Rules review and results. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching my predictions video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.